Hi, my name's Ken Stafford. I am a maths tutor and I'm just going through this sheet I put together, which is a sheet of questions about frequency polygons. And these are all the times they've turned up on the Edexcel GCSE exam. It's come up 3 times, so it hasn't come up a huge amount. I'm just going to go through these 3 questions, and I will put a link in the description to more sheets like this if you'd like to practice more questions. So this question, find the class interval that contains the median. So because there are 80 children, the median will be the 40th. Okay, half of 80 is 40, so the median is the 40th child. So to find the 40th child, we've got to figure out where they are. And to do that, we can do the cumulative frequency, which is to add up the frequencies. And it's in the 4th row that we actually get above 39 and we'll find the 40th child. 41, 61, and that takes us to 80. If you don't get 80 at the end there, you've gone wrong. So our median child, the middle child, will be in this group, 160 to 170. So I'm just going to write that. So their height is between 160 and 170. And that's how we figured out where they are. Now, to draw a frequency polygon for this, it's very simple to do, but people get confused between different topics and forget how to do it. The way to do it is we're just going to plot the frequency of 4 for the first group, but we do it in the middle of the group. So in the middle between 130 and 140. So we're going to just keep doing that for each group, 11 for the next group, 24 for the group after that, 22, and the final group, 19. So what's key is that we plot in the middle of the group. If you don't plot in the middle of the group, you won't get the marks. And now what we need to do is join these up with a straight line. Basically what we're doing is we're showing the shape of the distribution, that the height of most children are between sort of the middle, between 150 to 160 and 160 to 170. So straight line, joining all those up. Don't join up. Oh, I'm going to put it in anyway and get rid of it. Don't do this. A lot of people do that because it's got the word polygon in it, and a polygon is a shape where you would join up all the sides, but don't do that. That is incorrect. So I'm going to get rid of that. That should be your frequency polygon. Not difficult, but what makes it hard is getting confused between all the other graphs and how is it you do this one. So you just got to remember, join up the middle points. So question 2, we've got a frequency polygon drawn and we're asked what's wrong with it. So straight away, if you've watched question 1, you'll know that they shouldn't have drawn this line in. So we don't join up the bottom. So that line shouldn't be there. When you get these questions where there's something wrong with a question, always check the scales, check these numbers, they're all fine. It goes 0, 10, 20, 30. Check the other scale, goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's fine. It doesn't have to start at 0. So that wouldn't be an answer. So we're looking now, have they plotted these points correctly? I think straight away the first point, 6, that is looking like it's more at 8. So that one's wrong. All the others I think are okay. So there's 2 things that are wrong. So I would write those 2. So I would say they shouldn't have connected the first point and the second point, and then the frequency of 6 is drawn at 8 for the first group. That's incorrect. There might even be a third thing wrong with this. There's often 3 things wrong to give you an extra chance of finding it, but those would be my 2. So I've just added my answers there, and I've also added the fact that there is no frequency label on the y-axis. They could have written frequency there. So that was also an acceptable answer. So there were 3 things we could have said. Any two from those three would give you the 2 marks needed. And the third question here, almost identical to the first one. We've got 80 plants and we're asked to find the class interval that contains the median. So again, if you want to find the median, it's always the midpoint, so it'll be the 40th. My pen's gone all funny. So to find the 40th plant, we need to figure out which group it's in. So we're going to do the cumulative frequency, which just means you add up the frequencies to accumulate, just to add up. 7 add 13 is 20, add 14 is 34, 46, 62, and then 80 again. Where's the 40th? Well, it must be in this group. The 40th one must occur in there because the group above only takes up to the 34th plant. So this group is the group that contains the median. We could get an idea where within the group that plant is by drawing a cumulative frequency graph, but obviously that's not what we've been asked to do. But again, that's why people can get confused between these graphs. It would look the same, a cumulative frequency table, because they're linked. And now, last of all, we need to plot the frequency polygon. So again, we've got to go to the middle of each group and we've got to find, so the first group is 10 to 20 and a frequency of 7. Be careful on this scale. And then 13. Next one 14. Next one 12. 16. And finally 18, the 60 to 70 group. And then we need to join these up with a ruler. I'm just going to draw it by hand, but this should be a straight lines. And remember, we don't join up the bottom. It'd be quite hard to do that on this one. And that's that. So those are the 3 questions where it's come up in the GCSE maths exam. And I will put in the description a link to further questions on frequency polygons that people have made up, and also a link to my website where there are more worksheets like this, looking at specific topics and when they've come up in GCSE exams. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.